Today I'm going to show you how you can save around 3 to 4% on your credit card purchases just using stickers. So how can you do this just using stickers? Well, I'll explain. Watch through the end where I include a link to where you can buy the labels, and I'll include a link to the spreadsheet that I'm using to print out the labels. If you enjoy content like this, please tap that like button and subscribe. It really helps. So basically, the average American has 5 cards. A lot of the cards have different categories. So you'll have a 5% category typically every quarter, and they vary from card to card. So what happens when you forget what the category is and you go and you use a credit card and you make a purchase, more than likely you're only going to get 1% cash back if you choose the wrong card. If you don't remember what the category is, most cards will only pay 1%. And even in the best case scenario, you'd probably get 2% if you're using a 2% card versus getting 5% where a lot of the categories like Discover and Chase, they're 5%. So how does this sticker solve this problem? So every quarter what I do is I look up the categories, I put it in a spreadsheet and I print it out with my label printer. I cut it out and I stick it to the card. Then I put away all the cards that are not competitive. So some cards may only offer 3% versus 5%. I just put those away with all the other 30 cards that I have. Then I'll just keep the ones in my wallet that I know I'm going to use, like grocery, maybe gas. I use up all of them. I put in all the high rate ones, and then any gaps that I have that aren't covered, like categories that aren't covered, then what I'll do is I'll use something like my Citi Custom Cash card. I'll select the category that's not covered by those 5% categories. Or even my Bank of America has a card that I use that does categories. And it may not be 5%, but you can select a 3% category, and that's better than 1%. So that's what I've been doing. I'll show you how I print them out. Now, how I used to do it is I actually used to print out just with the regular printer. I'd create the labels on the spreadsheet, print them out with the printer, cut out the paper, and then I would use Scotch tape and stick it to my card. And that worked okay for a while, but if you've got a wallet and you're sliding the card in and it's a very tight fit, sometimes those tear off. And I didn't like the way it looked, and the tape kind of wears off. You know, part of the label is sort of floating. It's not stuck to the card. So I switched to these printer labels that I get with my label printer when I ship out packages. You could do the same with the I'm getting a description to Amazon has some self-adhesive label, a full sheet self-adhesive label. You could basically do a test run with the regular paper, and then once you get it printed to where you want, then print it on the label paper and then cut it out and stick it to your cards. Now the one that I like to use for finding the credit card categories, I used to use an app. The app would actually tell you put in your cards, it would tell you what the categories were. But the app went out of business, and then they started referring people to the Points Guy website, and I've had difficulty finding it there. So the best one I found just doing this quick search was NerdWallet. So NerdWallet, you can see here, they've got the Discover bonus categories, very clear. And actually, this is probably easier to find than a lot of these credit card websites. You log in and you can't even find the category. I've had to Google them many times to find the categories because it's so difficult. They make it so difficult to find them. Here you can see Chase Freedom. It's also another card I have. It shows here the categories: grocery stores, Target, Citi Dividend, Amazon is their current category. So you may have other ones. I just use free cards. I don't have any annual fees on my cards. So the labels that I've created they're for the ones that have no annual fee. But if you've got one that has an annual fee that has categories, you can fill in your own. Okay, here you can see the spreadsheet that I created. Now this is just sort of a generic spreadsheet. Some of this is some older stuff, but you can see the 5% categories here. So basically what you do to print it out is you basically just highlight this and you scroll down. You basically just highlight this and then you go to File, Print, and you could print it from your printer here, or for me, I'm going to use my label printer, so I'm going to change it to custom size 6x4, and then I'm going to change these margins. Okay, and I'm just going to do one page, I think. Okay, then I'm going to hit print. Where's the print? Next. Selected cells. Okay, Zebra printer. I'm going to include a link to a couple of Amazon alternatives. I have one that's, most people probably don't have these label printers like I have, so you can buy the sticker paper, a full sheet, and then you can cut it whichever size you need to. That's probably the best option. You can do that, and then another option is you can buy vinyl sticker paper, and the vinyl sticker paper is actually going to be easier to pull off. The stickers that I'm using, you can go over the top a couple times, 2 or 3 times, but at some point you're going to have to scrape it off. The sticker doesn't pull up without ripping apart, so you'd have to basically scrape it off with another credit card or soak it in water or something. Otherwise, it's a little tough getting off. But the vinyl would probably be a little easier pulling off and on, and apparently you can use it with the laser printer or inkjet. But I did see some guy online said you need an inkjet, so I'm not sure. Some of the places on Amazon say inkjet, and then some of them say inkjet and laser, so I'm not sure, which is which. But you may want to try that if you want something a little easier. I noticed a mistake on my Discover It card that the first year they double the points at the end of the year. So on those 5% categories, they basically become 10% categories. So you can get $150 cash back, and a quarter becomes $300. They basically double at the end. So I have a referral link at the end, and you can sign up. You get $50, and the category for this first quarter is grocery stores and streaming. So that's kind of a nice one to have, especially with the price of food going up. So anyways, I'll put it in the comments and the description. Feel free to check it out. It's a good card to have. And if you have the Discover More card like I have, the More card is basically almost the same, but they're not promoting it anymore. So they approved me for the It card, even though I have the More card, which is essentially the same categories and everything. So you may want to switch over to the It card from the More card, so you get a little bit more of a bonus on sign up. Okay, these printed out extra large because I had it zoomed in so that you could actually see the screen. So this is actually bigger than what you would normally get, but what you do is you just take some scissors, cut these out. Here's an example here. So you cut it out. So you cut it out something like this, and then you're going to have trouble getting the back off. So what I found is you just take a little Scotch tape, and you can peel it off very easily with this Scotch tape. You put it on the back side of this, and then it's going to peel off real easy. There you go. So then you can just stick this on. You can stick it on. It goes on real easy. See? Like that. Please press that thumbs up button and subscribe. Thanks a lot. Have a good one. Please check the link in the description for the spreadsheet that I'm using and for the link to the labels. And also feel free to mention if you have a better method that you're using for managing your credit card categories. Please comment in the description. Thanks.